Yeah.
Notes? All right, bet. I'm excited to hear what you have to say about this because, you know, you're the resident noob on the pod. So let's do it. Let's do it. Mondi,
for, for
we're
sure.
back. Back.
Hey, Julie.
My Hero Academia season 6 with special guest Mondi. Like, who is this guy trying to be on the My Hero Academia pod? Like, what the fuck?
hmm I've never watched 25 episodes of anything in 5 days. So just to give you guys a little inkling as to where my
Okay,
mind is and how I felt about this season.
got it. Okay,
Um,
I love it. Love to hear it.
so first, can you remember anything about season 5 and like what did you think about season 5 for the listeners?
Yeah, I mean, season 5 was it was kind of like a bridge arc essentially. It was just a setup for what they really wanted to get to in season 6, which was this big war arc. I didn't hate it as much as a lot of people did. Like, I feel like a lot of like the hardcores were like, "What the fuck? This is just a waste of time. These episodes are boring." And da 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 da. Like, who get class 1A versus class 1B? Who gives a fuck? It was cool, but like, I feel like the most important things about season 5 were just like Deku's his understanding of the different um what the fuck am I trying to say? The different people inside One for All. What are they called? They're not originators. They're
Successors?
successors. Thank you. Yeah, yeah. The different successors to One for All, and trying to put those abilities to use. Like you can just tell that the creator Hiroshiki is like a huge Spider-Man fan because like especially this season, season 6, but like in season 5 in particular with the Black Whip, like it's literally just like web fluid. Like that's really all it is. And especially the way he uses it in season 6, where he's just swinging across the city, like it's super cool. But yeah,
Or
I mean,
even
of course,
like Danger Sense and Spider Sense.
Spider Sense, exactly. Yeah, literally. So yeah, it's super cool, man. It's I like that we got a little bit of that in season 5. Ultimately, it was still a good season, but compared to season 4, where we got Overhaul, we got these big fights with Muriel and the permeation quirk, which we'll talk about in season 6. There were just a lot of stakes in season 4. So going into season 5, when we didn't get those stakes, it was a little disappointing, but I still enjoyed season 5. What'd you think?
I enjoyed season 5. I could tell it was set up, as I mentioned on the news pod. The fight between Redestro and Shigaraki was like, okay, that was cool, but like a little bit anticlimactic, just in terms of like you said, fights with Overhaul, fights with Endeavor versus the Nomu. But
Hmm.
like I said, I enjoyed things about it. I enjoyed the season. I didn't know that the common consensus was that people hated that. You're telling me that essentially people hated it.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay.
They
I like
said
that
they just said
class
it
A
was
versus.
boring.
Okay, I like class 1A versus 1B. But I guess it was a digression of stakes. But yeah, okay. Well, in regards to season 6, as soon as I started watching, I just knew I had to give our valued listeners a podcast of dedicated thought on it. Because, well, I just couldn't stop them watching.
Okay.
Okay,
Wow. Where
sorry.
first of all, where are you right now? Because you're
Um,
definitely not in your home.
I'm not. I'm in my girlfriend's apartment. Yeah.
So she's definitely like, what the fuck is wrong with this nasty
Yeah,
lame man nigga?
she's 1,000% in the living room. Like, what the fuck is going on? But yeah. So yeah, that happened. Uh,
Okay.
but yeah, well, first of all, I just want to say, as a fan of superheroes, like both me and you are, and a fan of just superhero content, this is like, to me, this was peak. This was peak superhero content. Well, at least the first 3/4 of the season, anyway. And I only consider a few things peak superhero content, like Captain America, Winter Soldier, Civil War, Dark Knight,
The
um,
boys.
The Boys season 3, Invincible season 1. Like that's peak superhero content to me, and I'm have no problem throwing this in there now. Just as a superhero fan, you can just tell like it was an ode to like the golden age of comics. Like
Yep.
the creator's name, I'm not sure of his name, but you can just tell like he loves comic books from the effort he puts into their costumes and their upgrades and the villains' ideologies. Like everything is just such coming from a passionate place, you can tell, and so I really appreciated that personally.
Yeah, man.
And,
I
and
totally
yeah,
agree.
and the season just pops off immediately. Like if season 5 was a bridge season, I'm talking about the first episode. The heroes are invading the League of Villains base.
And their
And
hospital together. Yeah.
yeah, and I was just like, okay, I thought there was gonna like a build up to that, but no, episode 1, they're in that bitch,
Hmm.
and it just to me, I appreciate it because it really displayed the separation between the heroes and like the class A students. Because up until now, like I'm not gonna lie, I'm like some of these class 1A students like Bakugo, Todoroki, like they're getting this mentorship from these heroes. Like they're kind of on the same level as these niggas. Like, what's the point? No, they're not, bitch.
Mhm.
And I love how this season made a fair point. Like even the number 11 hero nigga, Bakugo's got a long way to go. Okay.
Mhm.
And there's a huge separation there. And even and like to me, the new standout for me that I texted you was Mirko, the girl with the rabbit quirk.
Yeah.
Her little. That's why I love my hero as well, bro. Like somebody with a rabbit quirk, they made her look so fucking fine, bro. She was taking on five in Nomu at one time, and she's one of my favorite heroes in the show. I want more of her immediately.
It's so crazy how you get some of these powers that like sound ridiculous on paper, like Luffy, like Luffy from One Piece, like his double fruit power is rubber. Like when you say it out loud, it's like what the fuck? Like that sounds so stupid. But when you watch the show, you see how creative Eiichiro Oda is in making not only the rubber thing make sense for the character, but like making it cool as fuck. Like wow, like I didn't even think you can do this with rubber. It's the same thing here with Luna. Like I'm sorry, Luna, with Mirko. Like when they introduced her and like they're like she had the quirk of a bunny and she could jump, and I was like, get this bullshit out of here. And then she went fucking ham, bitch. Like what the fuck? Like super speed, super strength, like crazy legs. Like yeah, okay, give it to me. Like and she was fine.
Mm-hmm.
I'll do it. Lola Bunny, I will do it. So
had to search some cosplays.
oh yeah, they were going crazy. Yes.
It's like she like, nigga, at one point she had like one arm, both legs were like impaled. She kept embracing death, like I want to die. Like
yeah,
it's like it's like they gave her almost like a villain mentality, but she's a hero, and I fuck with that, bro.
Never give up.
And five high end Nomu at one time, like nigga, boost her ranking up. I don't know what number was she.
I think she was 5.
Oh, okay. Well, 5 is cool then, I guess. I'm about to say, I thought she was like number like 10 or something. Like, no, bitch, you need to be in the top 5 for sure, because you're that bitch.
Yeah, she is. She was awesome, man. She definitely had like some of the best episodes, even like from things that we're going to see. Like I still vividly remember. I mean, it hasn't been that long since I've seen it, of course, but yeah, she had some amazing episodes. It was great to see.
Yeah, and like I said, they could have easily made that kind of quirk a throwaway, but they take full advantage of all their quirks and how just the creativity is on display is amazing. I guess next it was cool to see what's the charge guy's name in Class 1A, the electricity. I forgot his name.
Denki Kaminari.
Yes, Kaminari. He kind of proved himself a little bit by absorbing that attack by that main villain. You know, at first he was scared to be on the front line, and rightfully so. Nigga, I was the same way.
Yeah, like wait, I'm 14. Like what the fuck? Like
that nigga said front line.
Y'all got me on the front line? Like what? Bitch, what the fuck am I supposed to do?
Like nigga, like I feel like the show tried to like he was a bitch. Like nigga, no, nigga. Yeah. He's a logical thinking human being. Like why this nigga on the front line? So I appreciated that. And I had no idea he had a thing for the earjet girl. I didn't. Maybe with that established in earlier seasons, I didn't really pick up on that. But they kind of heavily explored that, I guess.
Yeah, that's typically always been there. And honestly, Denki is kind of like that. He's almost like Mineta in a way, to where he's mostly used for comedic relief, but he has a really powerful quirk himself. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like one day when he's older and he can actually, use it without making himself a fucking idiot. He'll be very useful, because this was damn sure the only thing he was used for. Like he didn't get to do nothing else.
Right.
But it was still a big moment nonetheless. I agree.
Yeah, right. And also just we got to see briefly Redestro. He was used a lot more in season 5 finale, but we saw him a little bit more. And I just think his quirk just looks so cool to me. Like when he's fully powered up, I just think it's a dope look. I had it in my notes. Just want to throw that in there. It just looks so cool to me.
Yeah.
Do you care about Redestro, or do you have anything to say about that, or not really?
Well, I mean, like you said, season 5 was kind of his, like, his attempt to take over the gang, so to speak. And then, him and Shigaraki had that meeting outside. And now we know, who's in fucking charge. So, he kind of got bitched up, but it's all, yeah, right. Yeah. He kind of got, whoa, wait, what were you doing?
He's like sucking Shigaraki's dick. That was a clear.
Oh, okay. YouTube.
Oh, I forgot we're on YouTube now. Fuck.
Yeah, we are on YouTube, buddy. I'm literally not taking that out. So yeah.
No, someone's definitely gonna clip that in the group chat. And it's gonna be me. it was surprising to see Hawks kill twice. I mean, I like that. I mean, I like the idea that heroes can kill or whatever. But that had huge implications, down the line. But what were your thoughts on that?
So here's the thing about death in this kind of anime in particular. I'm not sure if it's really real. Like, I'm sitting here trying to think, has literally anybody died in this anime ever? I mean, I'm trying to think. I'm sure there's somebody out there, but like anybody important, I don't think that they've died. So I'm not sure Twice is even actually dead. Is he out of commission? Yes. Will he be back anytime soon? Probably not. But I do really like the kind of depth they went into Hawks's quirk, because it's one thing to just have wings, like, okay, cool, nigga, you can fly. Cool. But like the fact that he can control each individual feather, and like they're kind of strong, and you can use them as projectiles or shields or whatever, and like, you can lift people up. I thought that was pretty cool. And Hawks and Twice had kind of a relationship, which was cool. Like some kind of, I don't want to say bromance, but I think that Hawks was the most honest with him when it was just them two, because he kind of realized Twice was kind of a dumbass, so to speak. So I think it kind of hurt Hawks to like cut him down, which is essentially what he had to do. But I don't know if Twice is actually dead. But what do you think about it?
I think he's dead. I don't understand the public's opinion on why. I mean, I get it. You can't let heroes just do whatever the fuck they want. Obviously, like we see that with like Injustice and stuff like that. But like Twice his quirk evolved to a pretty powerful level in season 5.
It did. Really,
he can make like thousands of himself, which is like a whole army.
Yeah.
So I don't understand how neutralizing a threat, like that's why I had the issue with Superman and Batman all the time as well. Like, Joker is gonna get out of prison. He's gonna kill millions of, no, not millions. He's gonna kill a lot of people. Kill this nigga. I get it. That's your ideology. That's who you are. Superman. Same thing with Lex Luthor. This nigga is going to kill many people. Like, I get it. That shouldn't be your first resort as a hero. But when it's for the greater good, I don't see why the public is like, oh my God, he killed somebody. Well, it's no ending now. Like, that to me, that's kind of stupid. But I've always had that kind of opinion about superheroes and stuff like that. What are your thoughts on that?
I mean, yeah, I disagree. Especially in like a real world setting. I don't think that we want to set the precedent that like 3 strikes and then, all right, Superman, get him out of here. Like, let's start killing people now. Because then there's just going to be a lot of people that Superman starts to kill. And who knows what that could do to his psyche. That nigga's an alien. So I don't know if we want to go down that route.
You don't believe in for the greater good? Like you're so invested in this one nigga's potential to be redeemed that you're willing to let thousands of people die?
No, I think you like missed what I said. I am afraid that Superman's going to think that, okay, humans aren't capable of taking doing it themselves. So I'm just going to do it.
Okay, why Superman? I mean, heroes in general, Batman. I mean, like sure. All Might. Like, why? I don't know. It's just kind of weird to me.
But before we move on, one quick thing about Twice. Not only can he replicate himself hundreds of times, the nigga can also shapeshift now, which is not good, because that means he can literally be anybody. So yeah, he was definitely dangerous. He definitely leveled up in this season as well.
Yeah, for sure. Also, it's funny, like when the heroes rated the villain base or whatever, they left this nigga Exless, the nigga with the eye laser, alone. They left him alone with Shigaraki. I get it. Nigga's unconscious. This is Shigaraki, bitch.
Mm-hmm.
Why would you set that man up like that and leave him alone? That kind of pissed me off, and he got what I don't want to say deserved. I mean, I felt bad, but like, nigga, like nigga, y'all need to send 20 niggas in just to obtain Shigaraki, make him top 20 heroes. Yeah. That's where it could have been neutralized a lot sooner.
I think honestly, I mean, it was more of like a creative choice, just so we could see Shigaraki's power, and like he's awakened and he's got to kill somebody, and it's got to be somebody that doesn't matter. So, yeah, but yeah, cool scene nonetheless with him getting revived.
Yeah. And, you saw him as he was getting bested. He was like,
"Yeah,
I love that."
Oh man,
anime's so funny. And Eraserhead is also the MVP as well, besides Mirko, for he was really keeping. Like, if he had not kept Shigaraki at bay with his quirk, nigga, the world would have been decimated in like 3 touches. Like, that quirk was like insanely overpowered in this season.
Bro, I literally gasped when he cut his leg off. Like, I was like, so first of all, let me back up. So when when he got shot with the quirk stealing needle thing, I was like, oh my god, we are fucked. And then when he cut that he cut that shit off, I was like, oh shit, we are in a different space with this show. Like this show has never done no shit like that before. So I was like, whoa, like where are we going? Like are we finna have like a Hunter x Hunter type transformation into a show? Like, oh my god. We didn't. But that's okay. Like I still appreciate it, like his knowing that like these niggas need me. Like they need me and they need my fucking quirk. So yeah. I appreciated it. It was a bold move. Shout out to him. I mean, it was a crazy move.
Yeah, if the no moves ever get Eraserhead's quirk, it's a wrap. Because
wrap.
That's kind of broken actually. Mm-hmm. Is he right? He's not top 10 though, right? He's just a teacher.
No, he's not. Yeah, he's not a. I mean, he's still recognized as a pro hero, but he's definitely not in like the top 10 or whatever.
Oh, his ass need to be after that fight. He's here. And so we saw, of course, the number one hero, which is now Endeavor, doing his thing as well. I just love his attack name. It's so fucking hard. It reminds me of like Dragon Ball Z like attacks. Mm-hmm. He got like Blast Fire Fist, Hell Spider, Finishing Fist. And his final blast is just so fucking powerful. I thought for sure Shigaraki was done. I'm like, how does this nigga survive that? Like, yeah, I get it. It's plot story, but he should not have survived that final blast.
I think we need to kind of go into what Shigaraki is now. Like this nigga totally morphed into like a monster essentially. Like he's
like perfect Cell.
Yeah, like he has insane durability. He can fly. He has that search quirk to where he knows where Deku is at all times. He has super strength basically. He has like so many quirks inside of him. Like I don't even know if we know the full extent of what he can do, but the fight between him and Endeavor, and then obviously everybody else had to join in. It was amazing, bro. Like this is kind of what you want when you have like this big war arc. I mean, Shigaraki even coming out the hospital and just destroying like a 30-mile radius with his DK. I mean, holy fuck! Like it was crazy to see. But yeah, man, it was just a great fight. I think Deku really stepped up here. Obviously, Endeavor did. I mean, Endeavor had to have his moment with what's the blue fire nigga's name that ended up being his son? Dabi. He had to have his moment with Dabi, him, Todoroki, or him, Shoto, and Dabi. So that was cool too. I kind of saw the reveal coming, but it's still impactful to me. But yeah, that entire thing was just crazy, man. What do you think?
Yeah, I didn't see the Dabi reveal coming. That threw me totally off guard. How'd you see it? Just curious. Like what kind of hints were?
Well, they're all fire.
I mean, yeah, but okay. It was literally it was literally that easy for you.
Yeah, I mean, I'm saying I didn't know. Yeah, but like it wasn't like a far like it wasn't like too weird for me to. I was like, okay, like I get it. I could totally see that happening. Yeah.
The one ice nigga in the Liberation Army, he's not one of his sons, is he?
No. Yeah. Okay. I mean,
because he has white hair and you know he has the ice quirk. I was like, are they trying to say something here? But I guess that ended up going nowhere. I guess.
Yeah. I mean, the ice side comes from the mother though, and right. As far as we know, she's only had kids with Endeavor. So.
Okay.
As far as we know.
Probably not. We've been fucking. I shouldn't have said that. Also, Todoroki, is it just me? I kind of interpreted this like I felt like he kind of took a backseat this season. Like he had his time to shine, but like it was kind of hyped up from the first season. Like he's like the protege of the chosen one. And I mean, he still did his thing, I guess. But Bakugo and Deku, in my opinion, have surpassed him quite a bit. What do you think about that?
I totally agree. I think if anybody needed to shine, I think Todoroki should have more because obviously Deku's the main character. He's gonna get the most screen time. He's gonna get the most things to do. He's gonna get the cool power-ups. Bakugo is his rival, so they have to stay equal to an extent. But yeah, like I kind of felt the same way that I would have loved to see Todoroki do more. Like I think he's a fan favorite. He still has one of the coolest quirks in the show. And I would have loved to have seen him get more screen time. But in this particular arc, I kind of see why he kind of had to be on the wayside because it was such a big arc for Deku in particular. So I'm not like upset at the fact that he didn't get more screen time, but I would have loved to see him do more for sure.
Okay, cool. And we saw flashbacks with the I believe the sixth wielder of One for All.
Yeah.
She is the grandmother of Shigaraki, another big reveal.
Hmm.
Didn't see that coming, and we got to see flashbacks. So she was. Did her and Gran Torino ever have like a romantic relationship, or was it just purely like leader and like and
Yeah.
pawn? I guess
And what? Pawn?
not pawn, leader and what? What's what I'm looking for? Like
Pupil?
Batman and Robin, like sidekick. God damn, yeah, sidekick.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I do think that they tried to imply that there may have been some type of romantic relationship, but I'm not sure. I don't know. It's kind of hard to tell. But I will say they revealed that in season 5, I believe, when they were talking about Shigaraki's backstory, where he killed his whole family. Like they revealed that I think her name was Shimura was the grandmother of Shigaraki. But anyway, yeah, I'm not really sure how that's gonna matter because Deku wants to save Shigaraki, which is weird. I mean, I know you hate it. Yeah, I mean, at this point, Shigaraki's wiped out an entire town. This nigga's clearly dangerous. But you know, it wouldn't be a superhero show if the fucking main character was just like, all right, I'm gonna kill the nigga. So, yeah, whatever.
Yeah, it was cool seeing a young Gran Torino though. Like his whole body style and changed.
Yeah, this nigga was like 6'5". Like what?
He just shrinks down like a 3'5" nigga.
Yeah, like it's crazy.
So yeah, that was cool.
Crazy
And I can
Japanese
I
niggas think old age does.
I know, right? Well, if you look, well, never mind. I'm not gonna do that. It's funny too. It's funny too. Like I felt this way since season 4, I guess, but like Deku and Bakugo are both really likable characters to me now, like fully. Like I hated Deku at first. Like I fucking hated that nigga in season 1.
Hated him?
I hated him. He was the most annoying protagonist I've seen in the show in a long time. I thought he was just a total bitch. And Bakugo, I hated too for opposite reasons. Like I just thought he was like the bully thing was just like too intense. Like nigga, like we get it. You hate this nigga, but you're like trying to kill him during training. Like fucking relax. But now
Okay.
I love both of these characters, and I guess that just kind of speaks to why anime is such a good medium for growth. Because it's like a linear story. Like it goes from point A to point B. It's not like recycled, you know. So we get to see their growth, and I appreciated it. And I saw inklings of me liking them starting in season 4, season 5 for sure. But now season 6 it's solidified. I love both of those characters for who they are. They've grown into the best versions of themselves, so to speak.
That's crazy. That's crazy to hear. But honestly, I think most people tend to agree with your sentiment about Deku, especially early on. Like they didn't like that he was always crying, he was always screaming and shit. And but like I don't know, like I pretty much loved him from day one. Like I like the fact that he was an underdog, and that he like ran towards the danger. Like to me, he wasn't a bitch. Like yeah, like he was emotional, sure. Like the nigga had a thing for All Might, and like he put everything into that. Like his entire personality was, I love All Might. Like I want to be like him one day. But I mean, I've looked up to people before, so I don't know. It didn't bother me as much as it bothered other people. So yeah, I mean, I guess I say all that to say I've been loved these guys. Bakugo, the Bakugo thing, yeah, I totally get. Like the nigga was just screaming for no reason and being mad. Like it was super weird. But yeah, it didn't bother me to this point where I was like, I hate the guy.
But now Bakugo, his anger is just so endearing to me. Like this nigga, like it's hilarious. Like I laugh. Like they're like, Bakugo, you want some soup? No, you fucking idiot! Get the fuck away from me. I love that shit.
And it's funny because you watched the dub, right?
Yeah, I watch it dubbed. Yep.
Yeah, so it's funny to hear. I used to. I think I watched the first 3 or 4 seasons dubbed as well. But then they because like it used to be the show would come out on a Saturday. So like I would get to see the Saturday, and then Sunday they would have a dub. But like they just stopped doing that. Now it takes them forever to dub it, so I just can't wait. But yeah, shout out to Bakugo's voice actor. He's actually hilarious.
Yeah, that's why it took me so long to watch it because I was watching it on Hulu for a long time. But it got to the point now where I'm like, bro, season 6 still isn't on Hulu. People have been wanting my season 6 review. I'm like, fuck it. I'm gonna just go ahead and buy. I'm serious. I'm gonna just go ahead and buy Crunchyroll. I mean, I got the 14-day free trial, but Crunchyroll.
Oh,
I watch it on Crunchyroll, not Hulu, because Hulu takes forever. But the dub version still isn't out at all.
wow.
And you mentioned there's no deaths. I mean, didn't Miss Midnight die? Wasn't she killed by
She did.
Takatamakiya?
Yeah. She did die. You're right. I totally forgot about that. That was actually an interesting scene in and of itself. But is she important enough just because we know her name? I don't know, but I'll take it. Yes, she died. I was wrong, guys.
Okay. And also, I mentioned how in season 5, like the whole Endeavor arc with his family, like it didn't do anything for me emotionally. I think this season kind of hit it on the head. Like I finally feel like what they're going through. They kind of spent some more time on it, and I get it. Like Endeavor is he's not a perfect father,
No.
but he's trying to atone for what he did, and I do see how somebody like Dobby could exist,
Mhm.
or even somebody like Todoroki. Like
I was about to say, even Todoroki, yeah.
yeah, I get it, man. I get it, and I thought they did a good job of kind of fleshing that out and humanizing those characters. So the arc finally made sense to me, I guess.
I still think it's kind of crazy that like this nigga was so nuts that after the mom did what she did to Shoto, he put her in a fucking mental institution. Like that's just crazy. Like this nigga was like, bitch, that's my pride and joy right there. Fuck these other kids. Like, how dare you? Yeah, Endeavor was nuts. Yeah, he was not the perfect father, but he is trying. The Dobby thing on the battlefield almost broke him. Like he couldn't move. So
Yeah,
I think a redemption arc is coming for those characters. It seems like that's kind of what they're building to. So I'm here for it.
I love Endeavor since I first saw him though. And even though I know he's not perfect, he reminds me of like Vegeta a little bit. So I like Endeavor. And what were your thoughts on Dobby's backstory? That was pretty good as well.
Yeah. Like I said,
Sad.
the whole reveal didn't surprise me, but I still enjoyed the backstory, and it was sad, but it was mostly sad because his quirk was like self-harming, which just sucks. Like Jesus Christ, like every time he uses it, he's literally burning himself up, and he just wanted his dad's approval like any son would, and Endeavor was like, nigga, you're not him, okay? And yeah, that sucked. That sucked to see. I mean, I don't know about it going all the way to Dobby, to him becoming a Dobby type character, but it's anime, so I mean, whatever. It was cool. Yeah, I bought it.
I mean, but we've seen that in comics all the time when the father favors the son and the son just turns like Loki and Thor. Like that happened. That kind of dynamic happens all the time, and they kept making a point to say that even though it's self-harming, he's a lot higher ceiling than Endeavor in terms of the flames. And I guess we see that kind of with the blue flame because they're hotter than regular flame, like with Azula in the last Airbender. Do you think that it'll get to a point where Dobby can like surpass Endeavor, or do you think it's just too self-harming to even get to that point?
Yeah, I think I mean, like, look at him, bro. Like this nigga's like, he can't, bro. Like, this nigga is nothing but stitches and fucking burned skin. Like it's a wrap for him. He's probably got a few more years left to live, if that. Especially if I'm serious, like if he keeps using his quirk like he is, I don't see him lasting that long, man.
Okay. We got the return of two fan favorites. One is Lemillion.
That nigga's so fire.
And the other one was my favorite hero of all time, Best Jeanist.
Best Jeanist. The motherfucker go. They thought he was dead, bitch. Fucking thought.
That nigga pulled up.
This nigga got the Best Jeanist car. Like what?
Bro, what's that mean? What's that song you playing in that meme when it's like Baby Yoda pulling up or something? Outside on the river.
Yeah. Yeah, that shit. Yeah. First, I want to talk about Lemillion because this is something that was not spoiled for me. So like I went into the episode completely blind. Like everybody's getting their ass beat. All the Nomus were around. I was like, how? Like, what's about to happen? Like, how are we? Like, at first I was like, you know what? All Might just come in for 2 seconds, boom, boom, then go throw up or whatever. But like when this nigga came out here with that cape and like this nigga talking about some power, I was like, let's go. Like, first of all, his season 4 performance, I still think gets underlooked. Like this nigga went toe to toe with Overhaul, and like he was beating his ass. Like and again, another fucking quirk that you're just like, okay, like this nigga's Kitty Pryde, like this nigga Shadowcat. But Shadowcat,
don't disrespect Shadowcat.
No. Shadowcat could fucking never. Okay, like this nigga Lemillion is a beast, bro. Like this nigga surfs through the earth, pops up, and just start beating your ass. Like, yeah, I fucking love it. That episode in particular was one of the highest of the season for me. Like I was literally screaming. I was like, let's fucking go. Best Jeanist, but Lemillion, let's go. My opinion.
I got some thoughts on what you just said. First of all, I will not tolerate the Shadowcat disrespect like that.
Yeah, okay. Mm-hmm.
Nigga, if Shadowcat was in the show, she would have came in and boxed Shigaraki. It would have been over. I'm kidding. Anyway.
Yeah, you are. I'm gonna say what?
No, but I do love Lemillion. He had a great season 4. But I felt like he was kind of underused. I mean, I get it. Like you said, there's more arcs to tell. But like he came in, bop, he gone back in hospice, I guess. And Best Genius, how dare you, bitch? Don't ever put. Why are you so disrespectful to Best Genius? He's so cool to me. But his little isms he be saying, his little sayings, like everything is like a thread pun.
Oh.
That's cheaper than black denim on the black market. I'm like, oh my god, he's him. And more importantly, though, why I love Best Genius is because I like fashion, and he just got that shit on. Like he be kicking niggas ass with that shit on.
Okay.
Am I lying?
Yeah, I'm trying to think. Like, oh yeah, he was trying to help subdue Gigantomachia, whatever the fuck that nigga's name is. I was trying to think like, what did he do aside from look cool and drive around and stuff. But yeah, that's right. Shout out to Best Genius. No, I like
number 3 hero. Number 3 hero, by the way.
You can see why. Like the nigga's hella strong. Again, another quirk. Oh, threads. Oh,
fiber.
Oh, you're right. It is fiber. Whoa. But yeah, shout out to Best Genius, man. Shout out to him.
And I said this on Twitter. I'll say it here. The way that Deku looks up to All Might is, if I was in that world, that's the way I'd be looking at the Best Genius. Okay.
This nigga be having This nigga would have Best Genius statues and toys. Fucking get out of here. Best Genius posters. No.
Best Genius supremacy. Anyway, what kind of message is this show sending to kids? I put that in my notes because these niggas be fighting until they got one limb left. Like Midoriya barely had, like, I get it, like, don't give up, right? Like, that's the whole thing. Like, Midoriya had no arms, no legs. That nigga was using his tongue, Black Whip with his tongue.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Like, are you trying to tell kids, like, nigga, it's okay to sit your ass down sometime. If you got a broken foot in the game, nigga, sit your ass down. But no, kids watch My Hero. I gotta play through that. So what do you think about that? Oh, like the whole Zion situation.
I mean, yeah, like he should have fucking played, and because he didn't, his team is sitting at home. 1, 2, 3 Cancun. So I kind of like it. I mean, I come from that school of thought. Like Kobe played in the finals with 2 broken fingers and a fucked up patella. Like I mean, if you can play, you should play. And like, okay, so like, all right, obviously in anime it's extreme. Like you said, like the nigga Deku didn't have arms or legs to use. Like he was flailing around out there looking crazy. All right, at that point, yeah, sit your fucking ass down. But it's anime, so like they have to sensationalize everything. But first of all, it was interesting to see that the nigga could even do that. Like he was just like, wow. Like it was kind of crazy. Like, I was just like, wow, okay, cool. Like you can shoot it out anywhere, I guess. I mean,
anywhere?
Yeah, I mean, I guess.
Season 7 finale, bitch, through the ass. Back whip through the ass.
You may have taped up my mouth and my arms.
But you forgot my song.
Oh my god. Oh shit! No way. That better fucking happen.
That's the finishing blow too.
Oh, wow. What were we talking about? Shout out to Deku, man. This nigga Deku. So before we move on, I do want to get into kind of Deku's thing with all of the 7 successors. It's still so cool to see. The original successor was One for All's brother. And he passed it down, and to see everybody's different quirks. And I think the most important thing to come out of that is if you had a quirk and you get One for All,
your cup's over full.
Yeah, you die. Like what the heck? Okay, I mean after a certain amount of time, you die after like 20 years or whatever. So that was interesting. And apparently the only ones that didn't have a quirk were the first All Might and Deku, I think. So that's interesting to note. I mean, I'm not even sure why I bring it up if Deku isn't going to die. Like, like why does it? I mean, I guess, okay, I guess it matters because eventually he has to pass it on one day. Maybe that's why All Might. What? Maybe that's why All Might. I mean, ultimately chose him. But it was. I thought it was a weird wrinkle. Like, why?
Because they made a point to say that the population is like every year is like more and more quirks. So like it's going to get to a point where like everybody has a quirk. Yeah. So if you can't pass it on, if everybody has a fucking quirk, So maybe that's why they said that. I don't know.
Okay, yeah. Because right now only 80% of the world, which is still a lot. I mean,
Yeah,
but okay, yeah, you might be
yeah.
right.
And this is random, but I feel so bad for like regular pedestrians whose quirk is just like to be a fucking deer or something like that. Like, like,
Yeah,
like, nigga, you were dealt a terrible hand in life. Like, you don't even
yeah,
have
you're
like, any deer powers, like how Micro has bunny powers. You're just a fucking deer. It's always so funny seeing
right.
like random civilians in that show. Like, oh, that's a fucking shark, and
Yeah.
he has no quirks. But
You, see,
like I don't know.
you remember the girl that Deku saves that was getting bullied or whatever, and
Yeah, the shark. Yeah,
she was a shark. I thought she was a rabbit.
I thought
Okay.
she was a shark. Shark
W-
rabbit.
Yeah, whatever the fuck she was. Yeah, the bitch didn't have no powers. Like, come on, bro.
Yeah.
Like, you could have beat their ass for bullying you, but
So even the principal, yeah, he's like literally a fucking mouse, like the same size and everything. Does he have a quirk? He's just like super smart.
I'm about to say like I think his quirk is his IQ or some shit. Like he's like a super genius.
Okay, I was thinking that, or he's just a fucking smart ass mouse. But even even a nigga like Wash, like yeah, he's a fucking literal fucking washing machine. But at least he's like a hero. He can get clout. He can get bitches off the clout. Like like nigga, how does a nigga who's a deer get like you're dealt a terrible hand? Who's gonna like you?
uh, I guess that's true. If that matters. I mean,
Well, that no, I think about shit like that. But anyway, all for one uses Shigaraki to break himself out of prison. They're kind of like linked, like Harry Potter and Voldemort.
yeah.
He's the Horcrux. What are your thoughts on the whole prison break scene, if anything?
It was cool, man. It was a sign that things are changing and that like the anime itself is changing. Like we're kind of all just out here living in this weird world where villains that have done terrible things that like fucking the hero killer Stain and the bitch with the purple lady Nagat, I think her name was.
Mm-hmm.
Like people like that are just like out in the open now. Even the nigga that Deku washed up in season 3.
Muscular
Muscular, yeah. Like this nigga out here rampages just killing people again. Deku had to pack him up again.
again.
Um, but yeah, like it was a cool scene nonetheless. To see just all for one just be like this mastermind. So it definitely changed things and it set Deku on that dark Deku arc that people were so excited to see.
Yeah. And I guess after that, we kind of saw Hawk's backstory as well with his, I guess, semi-abusive father and his just kind of stupid mother. That didn't do much for me. What do you think was the point of that? Was showing Hawk's backstory? What was the point of that? You think just kind of what?
I think it was more so just to have a similarity to Lady Nagant because she was used as a weapon because of her quirk, just like Hawks is used as a weapon.
Mm-hmm.
And it also kind of shows that like the world and the government isn't flawless. I mean they never are, right? Like there's always some fucking Project Cadmus ass nigga that's got to have this secret ambition. And this is essentially what Hawks was hired to do. So, excuse me. I mean, it made sense in the realm of the story, but I do agree like his backstory didn't like make me give a fuck about Hawks anymore, if I'm being real.
Agreed. And as you spoke to earlier, we get to see Deku kind of more and more entranced with his successors and having these little secret meetings. It's revealed, like you said, that he wants to save Shigaraki instead of kill him. Which, when they said that it was just a test, we wanted to see. I was like that Chris Tucker meme. I was like, this nigga is too destructive, baby. Left alive, but we already covered that, I guess. And then Deku leaves UA, and now he's being targeted by All for One and his little hired guns, so to speak. And one of those guns being Lady Nagant. I thought she had a cool quirk. I don't see how is that much different than Snipes. I guess they explained it, but it didn't make much sense to me. Can you explain it for me?
I mean, from what I gather, it's just that she's more accurate. She can shoot farther, and I think he has to use a gun, whereas it comes from her body. So like maybe it's just more useful. I don't fucking know. I think his quirk is like homing, to where like he has the ability to control a bullet from, but like only to an extent. Whereas hers is natural, so like it's easier to produce, I guess. And she's more accurate. She can shoot farther. Yeah. That's what I understood anyway.
Nigga, there was guys I heard like she about to be. I was like, oh, who the bitch finna be? And I'm like, oh, this bitch just got a fucking gun for an arm. They was like, oh my god, Hawks was like, if you run into her, let me know. She's not one to mess with. I'm like, okay, but crazy. She wasn't that crazy.
She kind of was. I mean, she was giving Deku problems. I mean, of course, like he's gonna win, but like it took him 3 episodes. So I mean, I mean, she was giving him some problems in the beginning anyway. And then we find out that All for One gave her another quirk where she can fucking airwalk, which is cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I liked her. She's dead though now, I think. Isn't she? She
No, well,
died, right?
no, so she's like in healing. She blew up, but
Mm-hmm.
they're like healing her. She's not dead
Are
all the
they?
way.
Yeah, right.
But Deku's new suit is so his new suit is so cold, bro. Like
I know.
that's probably my favorite suit now in the whole series. Like that shit looks fucking dope. And I guess this is what people refer to as the Dark Deku arc. I
Yeah.
was spoiled on that turn before I watched. I was like, okay, he's gonna turn evil at some point. I'm like, I was
Mhm.
waiting on that to happen. It never did. I guess the Dark Deku arc is just simply him being more darker. I guess. I
Mhm.
guess what?
Well,
Yeah.
it's just him cutting off ties to everything that he knows and loves because he's afraid that if he's near them, that they're going to be in harm's way. So
Yeah.
it's dark in the sense that he's all alone and he's trying to take on the task of saving the world by himself. Um, but yeah, like I totally agree. Like the suit was so fucking clean, like the way they animated it. And like at this point, like he's like consciously using all of not all of them, but he's using I think what 5 out of the 7. No,
6 out of 7,
yeah,
I believe.
I think he's using everyone but one, but All Might
Yeah.
doesn't count because he didn't have one. So whatever. Anyway, yeah, he's like constantly using them all. Like he's using the Black Whip, he's using the Danger Sense, he's using the smoke screen shit, he's using the thing with his legs. I still don't really understand the multiplier thing.
So yeah,
Um,
it's like kinetic energy. Like he keep doing the same motion with one limb or one body part, and it stores up energy. And you can just kind of use it all at once.
oh, okay. That's dope. And then of course the one that Shimura had, which is the flying one.
Yeah.
So yeah, like he was just OP. Like I was like, oh my god, like Deku's a fucking problem. Like this nigga has went from this scrawny, no quirky ass kid to using 5 at once. I mean, it's kind of nuts.
Yeah, like you said, but he was like moving around the city like Batman almost. Like he was trying to be
Hmm.
all mysterious and shit. And like you said, the whole thing with Musculator, the rematch, that just kind of showed how much he grew from
Right.
season 2, I believe that was,
Season
or
three,
season 3, because like he packed him up real quick.
real
And
quick.
all these quirks at his disposal is kind of unfair to me. I kind of don't like that personally, but I mean I get it, I guess, but it's not fair. And why didn't All Might have any of those quirks if he's also a successor of One for All?
So he must have had them, but I don't know if he gained the ability to use them as well as Deku did. But that's something that they'll have to explain later in the show, I'm assuming, because if quirkless Deku could use all of those quirks, surely All Might could have too. So maybe he did, or maybe he just felt like he just didn't need to do it. He was already the number one hero. Nope. I mean, niggas already afraid of him. So I don't know. Maybe that's a question for a later time.
And where did All Might's strength come from? The first successor or the first person to have One for All?
No, he didn't have any strength. He was quirkless too.
No, I'm saying, but like, where did that strength come from? Which quirk, which successor
Like
did
his
that come
super
from?
strength.
Yeah, his super
Yeah,
super.
I have no idea. I mean, maybe that's just him training over time. I mean, like,
Uh,
but like he was the fifth successor. So remember how One for All works. Like it cultivates inside each person and grows stronger and stronger as it's passed on. So I mean that strength just built over each successor. I
oh,
mean,
okay,
and
yeah.
maybe he just trained the rest. I don't know. I don't know.
How is he the fifth though? If Deku has 7 people that he talks to in that chair, shouldn't he be
So then he's sixth then.
the latest one?
Yes, yeah, he's sixth then. Yeah.
Okay, okay, but yeah. And then All for One sent, like I said, he sent Assassins, and then Class A. This is the arc I thought this is where the season kind of tapered, in my opinion. But I get it; it's set up. You can't just have a full season of just balls to the wall action. But the part of the arc where the Class A comes to save him and rescue him, I was like, oh my fucking god. Uh, but yeah, what are your thoughts on that?
So I realized at this point that they were kind of winding down the season because they were ready to take their break and wait, make us wait another year for the next season. But um, I'm kind of surprised that it happened so quickly, to be honest. Like typically stuff like this in anime would take like an arc or two. We're like, okay, we need to go save him from himself. Like he doesn't have to do this alone, blah, blah, blah. But like it was, I mean, we got like, dark, mysterious, brooding Deku for maybe 5 episodes. And then
Exactly. Exactly.
after that, they were just like, yeah, nah, nigga, like we need you sleeping in the dorm room with us. Like we miss you. How dare you leave us this note? Like, you stinking bitch, come back. So like you, I wasn't, well, okay, I'm not gonna say like you because I don't want to put words in your mouth, but I was a little disappointed with the fact that it just happened so quickly, and that they were able to basically convince him so quickly. I will say like the whole like court of public opinion type thing was a little frustrating because they were like, why you let this nigga in here? Like this nigga is basically a ticking time bomb. Like, All For One isn't gonna worry about these fucking walls. Like, he's gonna come for this nigga. Which is understandable. But it was still cool to see people that Deku had saved speak up for him on his behalf. Like, hey, like, hold on, wait a minute. Like, maybe we should try to protect him and stop being bitch ass niggas. But then again, if you're a regular nigga, what you gonna do against All For One when he got fucking 35 quirks? So yeah, I think I'm kind of convincing myself about the court of public opinion. Fuck Deku. He should not be there. Anyway, yeah, great stuff. What'd you think?
This is where he is winding down, and I was kind of getting pissed off because, like I said, I had just been spoiled by all that greatness. And the scene in like the second to last episode when Uraraka's on the roof and she's using her little fucking megaphone. I'm like, get the fuck out of here! This is not the second to last episode. There's no way this is happening right now. and yeah, it was just kind of underwhelming, I guess. But like I said, I can appreciate a good setup because, and also we got Stain. Stain, yeah. He returned and this nigga's a bigger fan of All Might than fucking Deku is.
Yeah,
I only had to get the note to you. Yeah. Can you explain his ideology? Maybe it was lost on me when he was first introduced, but why is he so obsessed with All Might again?
So yeah, I mean, back in season 2 when we met him, his whole thing was he wants to face the perfect hero. Like, his whole ideology is a lot of you niggas is really out here just for the fame and for the money. Like, y'all not really out here trying to save lives. Y'all not really out here trying to make a difference. And those are the ones that I hate the most. Like, I'm finna kill all you niggas. Like, really, in my mind, there's only one perfect hero, and that's All Might. All Might don't give a fuck about the fame. He don't give a fuck about the money. He's there rescuing cats from trees. He's there saving kids from the school bus, whatever little video it was where he saved all those people. And like, he's the true hero. So when he meets him at the end of season 6 and he's like, who the fuck are you, nigga? Like, you're not All Might, nigga. Like are you fucking flexed up right now? You fall claiming, bitch? I'll kill you. Like, so, it was an interesting interaction to see, Stain still keep those same ideologies where he's just like, no, like, you're him and I need you to convince me right now. So it was honestly a cool moment. Like, I kind of enjoyed that wrap up to the season. Just because, like, obviously, when he got debuted in season 2, everybody loved Stain. Like, wow, like, he's such a cool character, cool design. His quirk is a little weird. He has to eat their blood, but whatever. Like, but yeah, I enjoyed the ending. I thought it put a nice little bow on the hero killer Stain thing because, after he got captured in season 2, we would still see glimpses of him in Tartarus and shit. And we were just like, why are y'all fucking teasing us? Well, now we know why. Now he gets to go off to the sunset and do whatever the fuck he does, which is, I guess, killing people. So yeah, hero killer Stain.
Said a cold ass line. He was like, whenever you're back to your normal self, come find me and kill me. I was like,
yeah.
Like, ooh.
Yeah, this nigga's nuts.
Also, it's very surprising as well to see Bakugo finally basically apologize to Deku. I didn't think I'd ever hear him say that. And so that kind of goes back to what I was saying earlier, like the whole character growth thing. Like, that was kind of a, I guess, quasi-emotional kind of thing. Like, Bakugo was like, yeah, I mean, I've always been jealous of you. I thought you were better than me, and, in different capacities. So I really appreciated that. And then, like, the next episode, he's like, fuck you, Deku. Which I wanted. I didn't want to be the salt-ass nigga. I wanted him to kind of revert back to that. But it was just cool seeing him apologize officially.
Yeah, it was interesting, too, because Deku himself was like, holy shit, okay, like, you know what I mean? Like, it was like kind of awkward. Like, Deku was like, I don't know what to do. Yeah. And then even in the following episode where Bakugo was trying to talk shit, and Deku was like, it's okay, bro, you can still call me Deku. Like, like, you still my nigga.
He said, fuck you. He said, fuck you, Deku. I mean, Midoriya.
I like love your voice acting right now. Can you do it again?
Fuck you, Deku. I mean, Midoriya.
Yeah, you're fucking nuts. Okay.
But also, I want to credit My Hero too, because it'd be such an easy thing to do with his character to just go ahead and make him a villain. Like he's had these signs since the beginning.
Mhm.
I just think it's so smart to kind of go against the grain and be like, yes, he's wild, he's intense, he looks like a fucking villain, but no, he's still a good guy, at heart. And I just appreciate them for not taking the easy, cheap route and just going ahead and making him a villain. I thought for sure when he got abducted in season 2 or 3 by Shigaraki, I thought, okay, he's about to be turned into a villain. He didn't though, and they kind of stuck to their guns on that, and I love that.
Yeah, Hero. What was his name? His superhero name, like Hero Killer, Destruction Man, or some bullshit.
Murder Dynamite or something.
Yeah,
That's my name, damn it.
yeah, yeah. This nigga's nuts. Yeah, that was hilarious. That made me laugh out loud. I was like, wow, okay.
But it's so much better. I can't say it's better, but in the English dub, when you can actually hear it, like it's just funny as hell. Like, and I guess the final episodes, like I said, that kind of wraps it up, and then we get to see like basically these niggas are calling for other countries' help, and that the idea of, because I've always wondered, like, what's going on outside of Tokyo? What's going on in America? What's going on in Africa? Like, just the idea of season 7 introducing more characters and more heroes from other countries is just so cool to me, and I cannot fucking wait. I love that ending.
Yeah, Miss America flying on top of jets with the red, white, and blue, looking just like a female All Might. That shit was dope. I'm just like, what the fuck? Like, is that what these niggas think of us? Like, holy shit. It is. And yeah, I mean, yeah, it's great. Like you said, like this kind of just expands the world, opens the doors for so much more. And like, I can't wait, man. I'm so glad that I don't read the manga. Like, I have no idea what's coming. So I'm super excited for the future of My Hero, man. It's been an amazing ride. This has been the best season in a while, so I'm excited for sure.
Yeah, same here. I agree. This is for sure the best season. Like I said, the first 3/4 of this season, man, was just perfect superhero content. I was literally like smiling while I'm watching it, and I was tweeting about it in real time, and I loved it, man. So yeah, thank you guys who all recommended it to me. Yeah, I loved it.
This is gonna be your gateway into watching other anime soon.
Yeah,
you'll be talking about Death Note, and you'll be talking about Naruto and Dragon Ball Super and One Piece, any of that. Hunter x Hunter. I'm excited for you.
Yeah, thank you, sir. But yeah, that wraps it up.
Go ahead, Devin.
Okay, you ready?
Well, it's been cool talking to you guys. Until next time, damn it!
Wait, was that Deku or Bakugo?
That was Bakugo.
Oh, okay. Okay, guys. Yeah, we're getting the fuck out of here. Thanks, Monty.
Yeah.
What? You got one more?
No, I'm done.
You don't? All right. Okay.